Hi, I'm Reb Shai. Hopefully you can hear me. I tried to record earlier and realized that the microphone was off. So hopefully it's on now. Um, I know people leave comments in down below, and I appreciate them a lot. I just don't see them until the end because I don't look down at the comments until after this is over. So please comment and give a little like, and I promise to get back to you afterwards. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about relationships, primarily romantic, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, and also family members and friends. This has been 3 months since, we really were kind of hunkering down at home. Some of us are venturing out a little bit more, some of us aren't, but it's still not quite the same as it was. And during those months, we've been really close with relationships in a way that we haven't been in probably ever, maybe, for that period of time, 24/7 for months at a time. And there's a lot of angst. There's a lot of, resentment sometimes. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit. During normal times, you can build that up after a certain amount of time. But especially during these times, it's really hard. And some people are very blessed and they haven't, they become stronger and closer, and that's amazing. For most, I think it's a little tougher. As I start doing some premarital counseling again with brides and grooms and brides, we delve into that. We delve into the aspect of relationships. I just the other day had a session with a bride and groom, and they've been together for about 5 years. And I know I told them, 5 years, time to get married. They said, we know, we're getting married soon. But they've also been thrown into this kind of what we all call quarantine lockdown situation. I hate those words, they're so negative. But they are what they are. It is what it is. It does feel like that sometimes. And they've been thrown into this situation. They work from home. There's a lot of distractions. The first 2 weeks were amazing, maybe up to a month. There were kind of like a party, right? We did a lot of Zoom happy hours, and we did Zumba and games and all kinds of fun things, and we connected in ways we didn't think we could, and it was exciting. And then by the second month, it kind of started getting a little bit annoying, and even kind of like we took it for granted, and we just said, "Oh, this is not it." And so, as I do with a lot of my couples, and this goes for not just a romantic relationship, this can be with your children, again, with your children, with a roommate that you live with anybody who's with you in the household for all this time. But I told them to each create a date night, at least twice a week. Each one of them is responsible for one night. And it doesn't mean that you have to go out. You can do all of it in the house. You can cook something maybe special. You can create maybe a painting night where you paint on a big canvas. Or if it's a more romantic relationship, maybe it's body painting. You can send the person to the other room for a half hour to an hour so you can decorate to have a certain theme, and maybe even put some, a background of some ocean waves and a vacation, so you feel like you're on some exotic island or some all-inclusive resort, and just be creative. And the other thing I often say is that, sometimes you can get annoyed at the other person. But what if we took a deep breath and we stepped back and go in your mind's eye to the place when you met, those first few weeks, the first year maybe, when everything was so exciting. They still had the same quirks. They still had those annoying little things. But back then it was fun. It was exciting. It was funny. It was just something endearing. But today, that something is annoying. So why is that? And that's when I say we need to examine ourselves. Something about ourselves is getting annoyed. Something about ourselves is seeing that person in a different way. Now, yes, as we grow and we learn new things about people, true. But for the most part, if you look back, you can really see that those same things that are annoying you now, at some point were things that made you laugh or you thought were cute. So take yourself away from the situation. Go maybe for a walk, for a drive, something very safe, by yourself, no one around, just you. And put yourself in that mind frame of those moments, the beginning. And that also, that could be applied to anybody, friends, family members, kids. Kids can, especially, sometimes during these times, get on your nerves. Think about those moments. Think about what about the behavior annoys you. Is it something that you used to find endearing? So how can you go back to that? Is it something new? And how can you address it in a nice, positive way? Is it something about yourself that's bothering you? And, maybe you haven't sat down in a while and spoken about your relationship and about your goals. Yes, a relationship should have some goals as well. You should be sitting down every so often and talking about where do we see ourselves in the next year or two, or 5 or 10, and keep checking in. If you're annoyed, go sit down, talk to them, and say, all right, let's talk about this. Don't fester. Don't let it build up so high that you're so annoyed because someone washes the dishes the wrong way. So I asked that bride and groom that I was talking about to write me some emails separately. And I wanted them to tell me, go back to that day. What was it like when they first met those few days? What did they like? Those quirks. Think about those quirks and then think about them back then. How did that feel? And I also wrote this song. It's a song about feeling alive. It's called I Feel Alive. I feel alive because when we are in a healthy relationship and we nurture each other, ourselves, we nurture the other person, they nurture us in turn, we feel so alive. Remember those days when everything was exciting, when the kids were born and you held them for the first time, how exciting that was? Remember when you went on the first and second and third and fourth date? Or when you realized, wow, we're meant to be together and we're gonna get married or we're gonna move in together? You felt alive. You felt in love. The world was good. And so, through that, through relationships and through positivity, we can feel alive. And that's what the song is about. I don't know when this moment will be over, but I do know that we will survive. You hold my hand and stand here beside me. That's when I know that we'll thrive. The river's still flowing, the oceans are wide, the sun is still shining, there's no need to hide. The birds are still singing a sweet lullaby. As long as we're together, I feel alive. We've traveled far to the moon and beyond. We've created a magical bond. We've seen some ups, we've seen some downs. Together we've been able to turn things around. The river's still flowing, the oceans are wide, the sun is still shining, there's no need to hide. The birds are still singing a sweet lullaby. As long as we're together, I feel alive. The river's still The oceans are wide, the sun is still shining, there's no need to hide. The birds are still singing a sweet lullaby. As long as we're together, I feel alive. Yes, as long as we're together, I feel alive. And that's the theme for today. As long as you're together, we feel alive. We're very social beings. We need to be together. And that could be through Zoom or calling, or obviously we want to be physically together. But as long as we're together, and together also means emotionally. Together means feeling it and remembering that magical bond that you've created in the beginning. And so I wanted to leave you with a final song, a blessing. In my book, Changing Curses for Blessings, Loving Yourself and the World Around You, I talk a lot. The theme is that, sure, there are curses around us and people curse us, and sometimes we feel like cursing them. Sometimes people are obnoxious. But what if we, again, took a deep breath and instead of cursing, we bless them? We give them some kind of a blessing. Talk about changing karma. Talk about changing the trajectory of how you feel about life, about yourself. Talk about receiving all that positive energy back instead of constantly being in that negative space. Because when we curse someone, one, it comes back to us in many different ways. And two, we don't feel good about it. We might at the beginning, but then we just don't. So how about you just bless someone to their face or even in your mind? And turn those curses into blessings. Turn the darkness into light. If the room is dark, go on and turn the light on. Yes, it's as simple as that. It doesn't seem like it is, but it is. It's as simple as that. It's switching that thought, that negative thought. Force yourself to say something positive to you, to think positive thoughts. And even if it seems fake at the beginning, keep saying it. Keep saying those positive thoughts and pushing the negative out. And pretty soon, your whole mood will change. So this next blessing, it says, Yevarechecha Hashem mitzion, urevetu v'Yerushalayim. And I'm not translating it exactly. I'm giving you the essence of what it means. It says, may Hashem, the Creator, bless you from Jerusalem, from Zion. May Hashem bless your children, your children's children, the next generation, everyone around us, the whole world, and Israel, just with plenty of blessings of love and peace. Yevarechecha. יברכך השם מציון ורב טוב ירושלים. יברכך השם מציון כל ימי חייך. שלום על כל יושבי תבל יברכך השם מציון וראה בטוב ירושלים. יברכך השם מציון כל ימי ימי חייך. May you be blessed. May you turn those cursings into blessings. May you remember to lean on those relationships, those healthy relationships in your life, and to feel that feeling of, I'm alive. I am alive. I'm surrounded by love, and I'm giving it out, and I'm saying goodbye to all these annoyances, and I'm welcoming in some harmony and peace. And then we can just be happier. Thank you again so much for joining, and so excited to see you, and I hope to see you again, and saying a big shalom. Bye everyone. See you next time. Hopefully you heard it this time.